Hello and welcome to the best mods for Xbox PC, where we will be looking at some of the best mods to check out each and every single day, or at least that's the aim. There'll be something here for everyone, definitely worth checking out. Use the chapters where you need them. If you do get anything out of this, consider liking, subscribing. It goes a really long way. Appreciate your time. Let's get into it.
In the big shattered space reveal that we all recently saw, they're introducing the idea of instant spawns, which is somewhat similar to Starborn anyway. And this all leads us to this very interesting mod from the creator who did the exoskeletons. A few mods there, bringing in all the exoskeletons, whether it be NPCs or your player. And this time, Exo Warlock 313 is bringing us a paid mod called Starborn Among Us, costing 200 credits. However, overall, it comes with some pretty cool mechanics. So let's dive into it. Now, what's really incredible about this mod is the huge amount of options and settings to tweak it to your very personalized experience. But what is Starborn Among Us? The basic concept of Starborn Among Us is to create combat engagement pretty much wherever you are, whether it be AKILA City to exploring random outposts. This mod can change random NPCs into the most formidable Starborn encounters. Whether it maintains the appearance of an NPC or a Starborn will be completely up to you. What powers it uses, how many quantum essence you gain, will it be a legendary? You'll have health damage multipliers, and it just goes on. It brings the spawning of very difficult enemies at any time right at your footsteps. So we're going to break down some of these amazing settings and take a closer look at this mod, because for 200 credits, I think it's not too bad considering the ability to cater this experience to your very unique desire. However, just before we do that, let's see if we can create the most intense experience by quickly going into the settings, and we're going to make the health modifier as high as possible. We're going to make the damage multiplier as high as possible. We're going to promote the legendary effects that they have up to legendary. We've got the spawn conversion, so the chance that this is going to happen, we've bumped it to 100%. So we're going to find these encounters frequently and often. We've also set the level of the NPC to 0, meaning any old NPC, whether you're in AKILA or hunting around in a Crimson base, any one of these NPCs could potentially be a crazy strong Starborn. We're also going to put all the combat on very hard, and let's just see if we can walk around and get absolutely destroyed by a Starborn. Okay, let's do it. So we're just going to start walking around. Okay, so unfortunately it doesn't seem to happen around cities. It'd be cool to have a setting where you could flick it on so you get like quite a few spawns while you're walking around town or something, just to make it interesting, but also have the ability to turn it off. What I did notice though is that we have a few Starborn spawning here at the start, at the entrance of AKILA, and they're all the ship technicians, but they don't seem to be aggressive. But I'm sure if we attack them, then it could get interesting, so we'll just do that. Oh, okay, nope. So it looked like it's like sort of half turned on. So these guys are only level 1, but they are actually Starborn, so that's kind of cool. They're using Starborn powers, but they're only level 1, so they look like they take on whatever the NPCs are, so that's kind of interesting. Still a bit of fun. It's definitely converted quite a few of these guys out here to Starborn, so it does look like it doesn't affect towns. So it would be cool to see a setting where we could have it on in towns, but that's just for me personally. So let's go venture out and see if we can come across a Starborn. So we're going to go check out a civilian outpost. Cool, so we're here. Let's just do a little quick walk around and see if we can get anyone turning into a Starborn. Okay, so no luck here spawning Starborn, but after doing some testing, what it appears to be the case is that we'll turn the non-hostiles into Starborn, but since they're non-hostile, they're not going to come out and attack you unless you attack them first. It would be cool to have a change where you'd basically be walking around a bunch of non-hostile NPCs, and that at any point one of them could turn into a Starborn and start attacking you, but also maybe have the option to choose what level they are, make them very powerful, basically creating a Starborn encounter wherever you are. That could be something cool, I think, just to mix it up. Okay, so here we are. We've entered in a location, and this time we have quite a few of them turning into Starborn, and since they're hostile, they're going to be joining in. So they'll have the same gun that the NPC had at the time, which is pretty cool because that means they could have custom weapons as well. As you can see here, we have the Project Warfare on, using the different weapons from that mod, so that's kind of a cool touch. So what it will certainly do is make these encounters on many different locations include Starborn. Now, you will totally be able to control how many Starborn spawn within these locations, so you could have anywhere from 1 to many. It's just going to be up to your choice. So you can see in this example we have had nearly all of them turn into Starborn, so plenty of options there to make this as difficult as you want. The other cool thing about this is that we have applied the basic Sith lightning, which the Starborn will also use against you. So you'll have that cool effect happening. So go into the gameplay options for this mod. So we have the requires story revelations. Do we want the Starborn to spawn before or after the main quest that introduces them? So if we have no, the Starborn will appear at any point. So no dependencies. If we go new game only, it just means that for the first time you do a playthrough, so not new game plus, this functionality will not be activated until you've reached the mission that actually reveals Starborn. Always means the same applies, but this time to new game plus. However, if you do skip the main quest in new game plus and you have always, it will have no effect. So they will just spawn anyway. So this is giving you some options to lock this down, tying Starborn to the very mission that reveals them. This next option is cool because we can say when we want this to activate, if we want it to be on our first game, our first new game plus, our second, third, goes all the way up to 10. So we'll have the option where we could say in this playthrough, this is when I want it to happen. We also have the awesome option of being able to trigger what level we want to be. So no level required, or once we get to level 20, we will start getting the Starborn to spawn to convert NPCs and attack us. So for me, I want them to spawn regardless of anything, so I've just got that all set to know. Here we have the conversion chance, so how frequently will it be possible for NPCs to be converted to a Starborn? We'll just say 100 to make it crazy amount, but you have the option to reduce this down to a very minimal amount. So with that encounter that we've been showing, there would only be 1 or 2 Starborn at most. We also have the choice to make each of the points of interest that have a legendary NPC, like a boss NPC, to just convert them only to Starborn. So we can say, yep, the boss NPC is always going to be converted to a Starborn if we have the chance increased. So we'll say 100. Here we can guarantee the conversion, making it much more frequent. 1 in every 10 is going to give you the best result, but you can make it 1 in 100, making it a much more rarer occurrence. Here we have the conversion rules, so we can get it to be converting hostile or non-hostile NPCs. Cool option to have indiscriminate, so we'll do both. Here we can set the level. It's not going to convert any NPC below this level, so let's go 50. So no NPC under 50 will be converted. Here we have the option to only consider legendary NPCs, so that links into this. So this will really lock it down just to legendaries only. The attempt conversion is a cool option because this is going to attempt to change an NPC that did not change previously. Now there's a chance that it's going to still turn into a Starborn. However, if you have conversion set to yes, NPCs will be marked as inspected and excluded from future attempts. Here is where we can change the difficulty of some of these encounters by applying a health modifier, a damage modifier. Here, apparently we can promote the converted Starborn to different levels, rare, epic, or legendary. Here we have a nice function where we can really customize what Starborn powers will be used, broken into utility, assault, charger, heavy, and sniper. All of those have different Starborn powers that will be used. We can have all the Starborn that are converted will have all the different various powers, or we can get them to use the utility setting where they'll have offensive, defensive, control, and utility abilities, or we can go by role, which will break them up into the assault, charger, heavy, sniper, etc. Another cool option is the apply Starborn spacesuit. So we can get them to generate a random variant, or we can get them in the base variant as well as no, meaning there will be a Starborn but still appear like the NPCs that you're attacking or around, which is a cool option when you couple it with apply Starborn voice lines, allowing you to sort of get an indication that they're Starborn without necessarily seeing them use their power. Here we have a cool option where we can set this to yes and then select if we want to loot their body, the amount of essences we gain from them. If you go no, it's going to disintegrate the bodies just like normal. All the basic stuff will happen. You won't be able to loot the body and you'll only gain 1 quantum essence. Here we can make the corpse lootable with some legendary loot possible, or even no loot, or we can just get them to vanish as well. Here we can select the amount of quantum essences we gain, and then we have the debug mode, which you probably just always want off. But there you go. Isn't that incredible? So we have complete control on how to make this a very interesting experience. It would be cool to be able to maybe modify how much they use their power, if they only use your power, perhaps get random NPCs in cities to change to Starborn. But overall, we get this amazingly vast gameplay mechanic embedded into our Starfield, which I really like. What would be also next level to add is if we could get fauna to change and convert into Starborn. That would be pretty unreal. But I really do dig this mod. This is a really cool attempt to introduce Starborn in a much more meaningful and sporadic way. Fantastic mod. Let's keep moving. Here we have a fun mod called Basic Sith lighting. This one is done by Lunchbox Gaming. This is cool because it changes your particle beam power into a Sith style lightning power, shoots 8 lightning projectiles from quite a good range as well, with small sparks of explosions. It looks freaking awesome. So when it comes to using this against enemies, it has like a really cool and awesome effect where it's going to do damage as it passes through enemies. It's actually quite a potent and really fun little power to use now, and it has a very interesting effect. Some of the charges, or lightning bolts I should say, pass through. For instance, we're going to try fire over here at these guys, and you can see how it passed through this guy and then hit this guy, but then also went all the way to the back here. So it's really actually quite a fascinating and cool skill to use, even if you're not too keen on Star Wars. But certainly recommend this to mix it up. Now, in order to select this power, we're just going to go into our Starborn power menu, and at the top you'll see Sith Lightning X. Cost 15 power. It certainly does a good amount of damage. It's a fun little mod. Let's keep moving. Here we have a fantastic lighting mod. This time we're venturing into AKILA City, and this is Rabbit's Real Lights. This is by Rabbit Does Stuff. Now I'm slowly going to get much better at covering these light mods, and I do apologize, I have the pitch black on again. I think I'll turn it down or off next time to perhaps make it easier to notice some of the differences. However, you'll notice in some areas in AKILA City, there's some very dramatic differences. As this time within AKILA City, Rabbit has added over 300 hand-placed light sources. There's also been a big enhancement to the visibility overall to AKILA City, making it a bit more of a welcoming atmosphere, fix broken and missing lamps, and makes them light up again. There's also lots of other little details that have been changed, and do note in some of this recording of the side-by-side where the mod is off, some of the level of detail hasn't rendered in because I was too far away. So some good lessons learned. Soon I'll have this down perfect where we can get a good side-by-side shot, but you'll certainly realize some amazing differences in some areas, and other areas will be so subtle you won't really notice much of a difference. However, it's really important to understand, which I didn't capture in this footage, is so much of the lighting changes within a lot of the buildings within AKILA City that don't have loading screens, like bars. Galbank has green reflection of the surfaces, and there's all these other little touches. So do note there's quite a lot here. This isn't the best representation, but just know this is a fantastic lighting mod, particularly noting that along all the wall, all the lighting has changed. There's a lot of lights added along the wall, which is kind of unreal. I never really noticed, but having those lights on the wall makes a big difference. But as we go through the city, you will notice some brilliant light changes. Some of it subtle, some of it extreme, some of it new, but it is an outstanding lighting mod. It's going to be really cool to see the improvement from the new patch that's coming, as well as Rabbit's lighting mods on top, which from what I understand, the new patch doesn't really affect his lighting or cause any issues. So it's going to be a good mix, but another cool, fantastic lighting mod. And I'll just let it play through with the side-by-side. Then after that, we'll continue on. So for this next mod, we are also going to grab one more mod, getting the NPC gun enhancer along with this mod. Allows us to change the appearance of any real NPC. When I say real, I just mean NPCs that don't spawn in and out of the game. I mean the NPCs that are tied to missions, quests, that remain within the world regardless. What we're going to do is we're going to equip this enhancer gun. We're also going to use the Gangzor here just to teleport a follower. I'm going to teleport Sarah to us. And here we have a Sarah. We're going to hit her with the NPC gun. Then we can go into the face, and here we get to the mod that we're covering, and the mod is called Hair Redone with new colors, MonstrrMagic textures. So it's going to retexture all the vanilla hair, but it also adds 8 new different hair colors, which you'll find within this creation. You'll also see that occasionally NPCs will spawn with this new hair color. But let's just find some nice long hair for Sarah here, if we can get it. Not the bald hair. That doesn't look too good, does it? Let's see if we got... There's not many long hair options in this game, which is a bit unfortunate. What do we got? What the... Okay, here we go. We'll go this one. Hair color. Now, the main takeaway from this is that for PC, the vanilla textures are 1K resolution. Some are even 512 resolution. Now, on PC, there's a mix of 4K to 2K texture quality. And then for everything on Xbox, it's only a 2K resolution, which is still quite a good enhancement. Now, this is a paid mod, and you're looking at 100 credits for this. And this is done by AKILA Monster, I think is how you pronounce it. Now, the different hair colors are by far much more beautified or look much better than the default hair. The textures are of great quality. And if this is your kind of thing, it's definitely a good mod for changing up the hair appearance of your character. Me personally, not necessarily a mod for me, but good for you guys to have a look and get an idea of sort of what's on offer here. Just show you with a few different hair types, just so we can get a good idea. I'll just flick through these. You can have a look. I mean, some of them look pretty rad when you think about it, like the fire hair. That's pretty rad. Blue hair. But they do look pretty damn nice. Like if a chick got this done, it would cost hundreds and hundreds of dollars. But we'll just go through a few more just so you get a good idea. The other good thing about this mod is that it is a AVM extension, so this will be compatible with any other mod that adds new hair color as well. So that's a fantastic aspect about this. There should be no real conflicts with other mods that I know of for this. And again, the cool thing is you can use this to change other NPCs within your world with the mods that we looked at, and you'll also see NPCs in the world having this kind of hair. So it's kind of cool like that. I mean, this is a very unusual, unique hairstyle. But yeah, there you have it. An interesting hair mod. It is paid 100 credits, but this is your thing. This could be a great addition to really stylize and spend hundreds of dollars getting your new hair set. So there you have it. I think girls get bloody robbed by hairdressers, but that's just me personally. But anyway, it's a cool little mod. Let's keep moving. So just before we go, check that out. Look how different Sarah looks with the new hairstyle. Absolutely bonkers difference. She looks completely different. So there you go. It can make a profound difference on your character and NPCs. Could be great for a new run or for the DLC upcoming. Decent mod. Let's keep moving. We have another incredible mod to cover from It's Me, Paulie B, the legend creator that brought us that amazing bio mod that completely changes the experience of navigating nearly all the various biomes. And here we have another huge addition to this collection that he's building. This one is called the Grindfield, a GRiNDTerra mod. And this mod is going to completely change how we experience points of interest by replacing many of the random structures that you would find, such as windmills, solar panels, and random fuel tanks with actual buildings. And the result of this is incredible. You end up with these towering buildings completely filling up parts of your landscape where there's humans, making it a far more interesting experience. The other glorious thing this mod does is that it still keeps all those other little bits and pieces that would spawn, but it makes them spawn in different areas. So it really mixes up the landscape, so you will experience a huge difference now in terms of when you're just navigating the terrains. And these old buildings are huge, and they really change the overall landscape and experience and feeling. If you include this mod with Paulie B's other mods, you truly do get an epic experience when traversing and going through all the different points of interest. So as mentioned, you'll still find many of the old bits and pieces that would spawn around human areas, but you will also get these awesome structures. Some of these structures will even have NPCs on them, so that's a really nice aspect to this as well, but not all of them, only a few will. I believe this might be one of the locations that has NPC spawn, so that's a really nice touch. Just a little random building, but you'll notice it looks a little bit different, has a nice ramp for you to get up into with your vehicle. But this is a cool example of some of the stuff you could expect to see. Some of the other awesome features about this mod is that it does also try to fix some of the different vanilla points of interest. So for example, some points of interest will spawn on your landing map if it hasn't already. It'll change some of the conditions of the vanilla spawns, make it a bit more sensical or commonplace. But when it comes to the main changes, we're looking at increased changes to actual civilian outposts when exploring. There's a new min-max for how many points of interest will spawn on your playable map, or increased randomization. New maximum amount of points of interest that can spawn on a galaxy map. Better randomization of many points of interest. Spawns on planets with the ability to have a lot more. Added conditions for human presence presence. You will no longer find human presence on Inferno, Deep Freeze or Corrosive, Extreme Gravity and Extreme Pressure planets. There's also a change to the range of percentage chance for human stuff to spawn on planets depending on if it's civilized. 50% chance max if it's on a civilized planet. If it's a settled planet, there's a 90% chance to max, or an uncivilized space, there's a 10% chance max. So you end up with the very changed landscape, adding what feels like a very refreshed and new experience with points of interest, changing the landscape dramatically. The other really important thing this mod does is it's taking over one of Paulie B's other, which was planet and creature generation settings. So that mod no longer exists, or it does, it's just been decommissioned basically. So when it comes to the creature changes, we have increased chance for creatures to graze to 50%, added a 1 minute to predator attack prey cooldown. So that's a nice change. So the predators aren't just completely going crazy the whole time and hunting animals down. Cut animal curiosity cooldown in half. So now at 5 minutes, creatures will warn you less, meaning they'll probably attack you with a less buffer time. Predators will only warn you one time. Creatures can now spawn closer to settlements than before. Not too much, nothing crazy. It's important to note that this mod does not actually add any points of interest, no new ones. Doesn't alter any of the other parent nodes, so all the POIs should still work with this mod. Do note though, there may be some kind of performance hit, but it really shouldn't be too noticeable. But just know that the potential's there. So overall, we end up with a very fascinating landscape with some nice changes to the creatures, as well as adding in quite a nice refreshing experience with points of interest and adding in these giant buildings, making the landscape and look and feel of many of these areas completely different. It's a really nice touch. I highly recommend checking this mod out. Let's keep moving. For this next mod, we are going from Alpha Centauri all the way to Zosma, to a moon called Zosma 4b, and here we'll find a mysterious signal which we're going to click on and land in this area. And here we have arrived at a fabulous Reclusive player home by the legend Downfall Nemesis, and we are on a spectacular location with one of the Zosma planets in the distance there with epic rings, and this place looks awesome. Very, very visual pleasing location, and particularly because this is on a moon, it is a little bit different to a lot of the other places and houses we've seen, players' homes I should say. But here we can see we've got a little bit of a mission intro, as we can see that this place hasn't been vacated. There are NPCs walking around, there's a crimson ship, so let's get a good look at what this is going to be like. So the brilliant thing about this is that this is on a really nice low gravity moon, so it's always a lot of fun driving your vehicle on a moon like this. At least I enjoy it. The other nice aspect before we venture further in is that it does have a nice road access to this area, so you're always going to have a nice easy way to get up using your vehicle, and the road up is quite big, so regardless of how big vehicles get, this is probably going to stand the test of time. So a nice little feature there. Now as we get closer, we'll have to pass under a bridge where we'll probably get spotted, but let's have a look. So we got some spaces here. This is cool. Good that it's spaces, because we have that other nice mod, zones space overhaul, which really does make them look incredible. But here we are, we've entered, and just look at this place. It looks incredibly well thought out and detailed. You can see evidence of like low gravity bits and pieces floating around. So I really like the look of this location. It does look phenomenal. Certainly very different and varied compared to other locations we've covered. So cool thing is you're gonna have some fun clearing this. There's quite a few enemies. You have this crazy nice gate. Kind of almost reminds me of the Star Wars sort of feature, but very nice looking. There's even little turrets on the buildings. That's a nice touch. And inside the buildings, you'll come across multiple enemies, and it's all nicely decorated too. So it really does give the impression of a point of interest. But what we're going to do is we're going to head up to the house now. So you will find some spaces up around the house as well. So you will need to clear them out, but that adds to the whole enjoyment of claiming this a brilliant property that Downfall Nemesis has provided. And here we go. So we're going to enter by activating this button here. Okay, so we can't open it. So there seems to be a little bit of a mystery to this, which I'm just have to neutralize all the enemies. Cool, so we've neutralized them all. So here we go, we've got access, and here we are inside this beautiful decorated place that would have taken quite a lot of time. Now we're just going to walk through as we step through all these different areas, some of the crazy benefits that this place has. So the interior and exterior of the house are inside an outpost area. So that's an interesting aspect. So So we'll be able to decorate this ourselves and also decorate around this whole area that we've sort of come across and approached. And you are going to see some similarities because this is very much just like the player's home that we find when you select your background traits. So it looks like it is pretty much a copy of that very house that we've looked at before, but this time in this amazing location. It does have some minor differences with this upstairs area having a complete redecoration, table tennis, a little pool spa with even steam coming out, a little Pilates room almost, or a yoga room, gym, what the hell, very nicely done. So there's quite a few changes compared to the old version that we've seen, whereas some of this does have some similarities, but not a lot. Now the coolest feature that was in the previous version was downstairs, and we'll just head down there, and just like last time, we'll need the vault keycard, which is just on the table here, but just quickly soaking up the kitchen. Very, very nice, fully functional kitchen as well, so you'll be able to do your cooking here. A fridge with a good amount of storage, my mistake. So to open this, we'll need to head to the computer, which from memory will be upstairs in this room here. And here we go, we found the terminal. We should get a message. Be mindful of the anomalies outside. They have a tendency to act weirdly. Ooh, okay, not sure what that means, but it sounds interesting. So upon exiting the terminal, you'll get a nice thank you message. Gives you a little bit of a rundown of what this offers. Just before we head down, do note we do have a terminal here at the front door where we have a lot of control functionality. So we have the administration where we can purchase robots. Crazy, let's purchase some robots. That sounds amazing. We also have the ability to clean up the quest remains, so just getting rid of the dead bodies. We'll do that as well. I don't want to remove the outpost build recipes. We'll leave that active. This is insane. So this actually gives us a feature to add furniture or remove it to the different areas. So let's just go first floor furniture, which is the one we're on, and we can have an option to remove all the decorations in all the little different areas. This is kind of mind-blowing. We've never seen this kind of functionality. So let's just go disable all first floor furniture, and then we can also select enable gym. Okay, so we'll come back and check that. We even have the mannequin options where we can swap it to male. That's huge. Okay, so we can just swap to male. My gosh. Okay, so then after that, let's just exit. So first floor is up here, and we have the gym, which is left untouched, and everything else has been cleared out instantly. This is insane. Obviously, you're not going to get rid of the pool, but this is incredible. So you'll have the options to keep whatever bits you want and then decorate the bits you like or want to focus on. This is rather a mind-blowing feature that we've never seen before. So we'll go back to the master terminal, just make sure we've covered all the bases. We'll check the exterior options. There's even a ship service building, so we can disable it, or it's currently active, so we'll just leave it as active. We'll find out where that is soon. Turret options, we can purchase extra turrets for 20,000 credits. Hell yeah. So we'll purchase extra turrets. We'll enable them. We also have the option to disable all the different turrets. We also have show house pointer quest. So let's just have a look at what that is. Oh, okay. So that looks like it's going to allow us to have an activity quest to find it at all times. So we go into our activities. We can go Reclusive home, which means we can potentially just have it on the map, make it easier to get to maybe. We'll find out if that is what I think it is. Okay, with all that said, let's head down into the basement. Now, keep in mind, we do need the keycard to access. The keycard was on the bench in the kitchen. So here we have this phenomenal area, which is the basement. Now, we've covered this in his other redecoration, which is pretty much a copy paste of this area. But let's just go through what this area offers, or just in general, the general functionality. So this place will have secure vault with ample storage, spacesuits, and weapon. Now you'll find in here we'll have a ton of space for your spacesuits, which we've changed to male all at once on the mannequins. That's insane. Here you just have so much space. Now some of these things are unlimited, as much of the different storages within this property are all unlimited. Now note there's tons of security as well. We got some cool art. So what's incredible is that all inventories are connected to your workbenches, allowing for the use of all inventories while crafting. That is absolutely nuts. I love that functionality. You can also transfer container inventory for the basement workbenches. You'll have custom bookcases, fridge, and dresser for storing your beloved items. We've already looked at the secure vault. The other cool thing is that there'll be lots of activities for your companions to do while they're chilling here, whether it be like something looking at the star map or going onto the computers. Plenty of stuff that they'll interact with. We also have a vendor kiosk that buys all the items except for stolen ones. It also can sell us ammunition. There's a bounty clearance, consolation, and general mission board. We also have a master control terminal downstairs. We have all these different safes that have unlimited storage. Here we have quite a few safes that do have storage. I mean, there is just so much to this place. This has some of the most functionality we've ever seen within a property. The other cool thing is that you will be able able to mine and extract lead and water while at this property. Now, not only that, this mod comes with 57 new outpost building pieces. So anything marked with ZHR, like this gym equipment, a decorative shelf, freaking cool coffee table, got these giant different rugs. You've got so much to decorate, and some of these are very well done, pretty little decorations like these plants, for example, that could definitely spice up your outpost. Got a bar you could place. I mean, this is phenomenal. What the hell? Everything is included. So much. So a lot of the things you see around the house are almost a part of the mod for your own decoration use. That's kind of a cool addition, particularly because you can add and remove certain elements of this area. So it's kind of giving them to you back, allowing you to place it as you would like. This really allows you to have complete flexibility and control of how you want to experience this space. While it is important to note that this will act like an outpost, it's still not possible to assign crew or cargo links. If there is ever a solution to this, this will be introduced into this mod. And just keep in mind, we can also come outside and decorate, and this acts just like a proper outpost. So that is really fantastic. So you'll be able to do so much more with this location than many of the other players' homes that we've seen. I think it's rad that we can actually add some extractors as well, like water and lead. And just checking, and do note there is also an area here where we can activate the various robots. So we'll just come to this remote computer, we'll just activate all the units. Activating them will deploy them, and now you have this guard ready to patrol and take care of business if anything happens. Also does come with a transfer container, and I didn't show you before, but if you do need to get up there and you have a very average jetpack, you just use these steps if you need to. And if you're looking for the ship terminal and the trade authority and the vendor kiosk where you can sell all your items, here we have it just in this building right outside the ship pad, and we just go down into here. So very nice. So very nice to have that inside, close by to the ship. You'll also find many of your mission boards here: Stealth Bounty, normal mission board, and the Constellation. We also have a bit of a prism system here, which is freaking rad. So you could technically do some role playing here and lock up your prisoners or your bounties. Cooking station in here as well. Probably a few things I missed, but we got the bulk of it. This is one incredible player's home on such a beautiful location in space, zero gravity pretty much, having so much functionality, everything you would need: an outpost, a player's home, a little mission. This is one superb mod, definitely worth checking out. Fantastic mod. Let's keep moving. This next mod is going to be a bit of a wild card. It's called Mars EOS Chasma Underground Research Facility, and it has next to no information, but we know it's on Mars and we can see the location right here. So let's check it out. This mod is done by Dalavision. Let's go see what we have installed here. So the mod says we enter this place by going through one of the hatches on the landing pad. Did just want to point out though that you are on a floating platform. Let's find this hatch. So the hatch is easy to find. It's just in this little area here. So let's go down. The ACR research facility. Okay, so we've entered this area and it has got a ton. Oh my gosh, what the hell? We have a giant robots. We got multi-leveled staircase, maze of craziness. We've got containers, cargo, crane. This looks incredible. So this is going to be like a little challenge for you to try out. We've got a couple boss enemies, and this is what I like about little mods like this, where they give little description but they hold a big surprise. So we're just going to zoom out of this place just to see if there is any other little hidden rooms or any other little bits and pieces we might miss that are not within this area. No, okay, so this is pretty much this mod, freaking wild. So it's a bit of a point of interest gameplay mod. So let's go see what it's like for some of these incredible enemies. Do also note that we do have a sneaky little chest hidden behind these big boys. The little K9 robots are pretty easy to kill. They're not particularly strong, but it might get, oh, they get stronger with each level you were on. That's interesting. So what level is this guy? Okay, it kind of appears like they get stronger with each level, but we're going to skip that. We're going to jump down, and then on the bottom level, you'll get to enemies that are much stronger, 92. So that is a very fierce K9 robot. Then we have the big overlord, but let's take out some of the smaller ones. They're level 100. The big guy, he is 500. Oh boy. Okay, so you're in for a challenge. This could be a lot of fun. Now, do note the big robot is so big, he can kind of glitch out depending where you are. So just keep that in mind. You might want to try engage him and get close to him so he doesn't sort of glitch out like this, but it's going to be kind of hard to avoid something like that with a space like this. It probably needs to be a little bit bigger, but this is a common thing that you see when the models get too big. But we're just going to take him out, be able to loot his body, and let's go see what's in this chest. So you will need an advanced security perk to get this. And let's have a look inside. Okay, well, we have tons and tons of cool little goodies. Got some Astra, some nice advanced UC spacesuits, and it does look somewhat randomized, so you will potentially actually get a bunch of different things, but it looks like it's a little bit randomized. But there you have it. We've found a random little mod with a nice little point of interest, just something to mix it up, a little bit of fun. Cool mod. Let's keep moving. Thank you very much for watching. If you get anything out of this, consider liking, subscribing, commenting. Let me know what you think about some of these mods. You can let me know what mods you'd like me to cover, or if there's anything on your mind, just drop it in the comment. Thanks again, and peace.